I'm James Elder. Welcome to another special episode of Not For The News Transfer Edition. With me, I've got my esteemed guests and colleagues from the world of football and boxing, none other than Curtis Wardog, Woodhouse, BEM, may I add as well. Always forget that bit. All right, buddy?
Yeah, all good.
Good. Also joined by the controversial one, the man who says what he thinks, the enigma, none other than Leon Knight. How are we, Leon? What's happening?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
May I ask why you're bare-chested? Is there any reason for that? Hot. Heat, I'm taking it.
It's hot, bruv. It's hot outside. It's hot.
It is hot, to be fair. It is hot. All right, well, lads, this week is a special Not For The News Transfer Edition. So I want to look at some of the goings-ons in the Premier League since we last caught up. Some big signings, some big moves being made. We've seen Man United have just wrapped Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. Big signing for Manchester United. What are your thoughts initially on Lisandro going to Old Trafford? Wardog, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's a good signing. Not seen loads of him, but I think fits the profile of what Man United are trying to do. Ten Hag wants to play a possession-based style. And Martinez is good on the ball, brings it out well, left-footed, gives him a little bit of balance. I know people are talking about his height has been an issue, but there's not much direct football played in England these days, so that's a bit of a myth. I think he's a good signing. Where's he going to play? Who's he going to replace? That's an interesting one. Will he come in at left back instead of Luke Shaw? Will they play three at the back and put him on the left of that back three? I don't know, but ultimately I think he fits the profile of what Man United are looking to bring in. So I think he's a good signing, yeah.
Ten Hag's worked with him in the past. He obviously trusts him, thinks he's going to improve the squad. Do you expect him to hit the ground running initially in the Premier League, or do you think he's going to need a settling-in period, Nighty?
I think he's going to need a settling-in period. The league is coming from piss poor. You know, two teams have been running that league for God knows how long.
You could say the same about the Premier League.
Yeah, you can, but you know, they're better than what it is. If you pick the top 7 in the Premier League and pick the top 7 in Spain, Italy, Germany, England win all the time. Do you know what I mean? They win. So that league there, the Dutch league, I'm not having it. But, you know, the manager seems to, you know, have a little faith in him. He wants to bring him over. He's worked with him before.
If you look at the Dutch players that have come over in the past, they're so hit and miss, aren't they? Some of them have really, really struggled and really not been good enough, to be honest. It's a really tough, it's a tough transformation to come from that level. It's probably on a par with the Championship.
Wow.
The Dutch league.
You think it's that weak, Nighty?
It's piss poor. 100%.
Yeah, you take Ajax and Feyenoord out of there.
Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord out of there, and the leagues.
It's worse than the Championship.
At League One.
I'm with you.
I mean,
but don't forget he is an Argentinian international as well. You know, they won the Copa America. Not sure if he played in it, but he's an Argentinian international, and they're not too shoddy. They're a decent side, and he gets picked in that, you know. And Ten Hag does know him, and he knows Ten Hag. So I think when you're talking about a period for him to settle in, I think before he even goes, you know, certain managers, you know exactly what role he's going to want you to play. I think he'll fit in pretty quickly. I'm really interested in who he'll play alongside, Varane or Maguire, or does he play a back three?
Now,
interesting.
We saw Harry Maguire booed by his own fans in the pre-season. Absolutely killed him. He is club captain. I can't remember a club captain being so disrespected by their own fans. What are your thoughts on it? Nighty in particular, what do you think?
I think it's shocking. You know, it all goes along with this new era of fans. Do you know what I mean? They've really got no, like, connection with the club. They don't know the history. You know, half of them ain't even from in and around the area. You know, and they just do as they like. You know, no respect whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? So these are new era fans, and you don't boo your club captain coming out for the warm up. you know, collectively as a team, you get beat 3-0 away to flipping Stoke or whatever. They're coming off the pitch. They deserve a boo. But to single out players and your club captain, shocking, to be fair. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I'm with 90 on it. Honestly, I think it's unbelievable. I went to go and watch Man United Brighton last year, and he came out for the warmth and got booed. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and it wasn't just one or two; it was thousands, and it was a loud boo, and I thought it was shocking. And you know, by his own admission, he didn't have his greatest ever season last year, but he was not alone. He was probably Man United's best centre half. You know, Varane was absolutely all over the place. Lindelof looked like a kid who'd won a competition. You know, they were so poor. Maguire was probably the best centre half they had. I don't know. I don't know what's gone wrong there, because I agree with 90 to be booing your club captain. Club captains normally only get booed if they've put a transfer request in or something along them lines. I find it shocking the way he's being treated, not just by his own fans, but by football in general, to be honest. I think it's bang out of order because, like I said, he's not at his best season. No one could ever argue that. But, you know, he's not killed anyone, has he? He's just lost a bit of form on a football pitch.
Interesting. Lads, we've also seen Manchester United have brought in Christian Eriksen. Before his sudden illness, which I want to say I'm thoroughly made up that he's made a full recovery of, he was probably regarded as one of the best technical attacking midfielders in the Premier League. He's now at Manchester United on a free transfer. How big of a signing is that for Manchester United? And are we expecting the Christian Eriksen of old to go into Man United? What are your thoughts on it?
You can't expect the Christian Eriksen of old to turn up at Man United. I've been saying this for a minute. It don't sit right with me with the illness he had and stuff and whatever. Not even Brentford. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure he don't look like the kind of sort of person who's, you know, blown his money away or whatever. I think he should have been all right financially and whatever. You know, maybe, you know, just take up a coaching role somewhere, in and around somewhere. Someone definitely would have took him on board. It just don't sit right with me, him coming back. I know I've watched him a couple of times when Brentford have played on Sky, and, you know, he's looked all right. He's looked good, you know, the best in that team anyway. But for me, it just seems like, it shows me where football is, that you got to take a man, you know, who's had an illness, wasn't nothing to do with, not his fault or whatever, and now you're bringing him to a club to like Manchester United. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nobody. It goes to show there's no one out there. You're taking a man who's suffered an illness, which was it 18 months ago?
He must be okay though. He must have had more checks and more procedures than any man ever on the planet. So he must be okay. Otherwise, you know, for legal reasons and everything, no one will be able to go anywhere near him. So that kind of puts my mind at ease that he must be okay. He must be. Otherwise, he won't get insured. There'd be so many legal ramifications if someone in the team and he wasn't right.
Well, he couldn't go to Serie A. He couldn't play in Italy because he couldn't get the insurance. This brings me on to the fact where Brentford, the Bees, they've backed him. They've brought him back from really football obscurity after what happened to him. No one was keen to give him a deal. They gave him a chance. He's performed on the Premier League in the platform. He's now said goodbye to Brentford. Should he have been more loyal and give Brentford another season, bearing in mind he is 30, another season he still would have had market value to a lot of top teams? What are your thoughts on that? I'm going to go to Woodhouse initially on this.
What would Brentford have done if he got a bad injury and he was coming out of his contract? His contract was up and he did his cruciate ligaments or something. What would they have done? Would they have given him another year, kept him on, helped him with his rehab, continued him on full pay, or would they have cut him loose? They'd have cut him loose. You know, there is no loyalty. The loyalty that he showed to Brentford was by keeping him in the league. So I remember at one point, it looked like Brentford or Leeds United were going down. And Eriksen came to the party, took it up another notch, and kept them in the Premier League, probably making the club over £100 million. So that's the loyalty he showed to them. Once his contract's up, he can do whatever he wants. And he's moved to one of the biggest clubs in world football. So fair play to Ericsson. He's come and delivered what he said he was going to deliver. Or, I'm sure Brentford feel that they've done very, very well out of the Ericsson deal. So I bet he didn't go there on much money either. With all his issues, that had kind of been like, listen, just take me. I'll take whatever, and I'll come and show and try and earn a better deal elsewhere. I think that was probably the plan all along for everybody.
No, you're cooled up in the ways of the world. Do you think there would have been a gentleman's agreement in place? The big club come in for him, that there wouldn't be a problem, sort of thing?
100%. Without a shadow of a doubt. That's why I don't think you see any. It's the fans that's kicking off, and it's not really, whatever. That's your manager ain't came out and said nothing, even though I don't think that's his forte. But I just think he wanted to play. He improved Brentford. They stayed up, like Curtis was saying, and at the end of the day, he's a free agent.
Yeah, exactly. You're forgetting that he's not under contract. He's not just walked out on his deal. He's fulfilled his obligations to Brentford.
He's a free agent. Like, you can actually do what you want. So, as much as Brentford are upset, and I hear them because, they've lost a talented player, but he's a free agent. You should have just said, I'll give you a 2 and 3 year contract. And you would have been in a different situation. Man United will have to come in and pay for him. You could have knocked it back or took it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But right now, he's a free agent.
I think it's a big coup for Man United. I really do. If you think pre-pandemic, he was probably 70, 80 million pounds.
Yeah, I think he's a good player.
You're getting him at 70%, and you're playing him in the squad rotation policy alongside Fred, McTominay, or in place of Bruno now and again for free. You've probably brought in 40, 50 million pounds worth of talent there, haven't you? You get 20 games out of him at elite level this year.
And you look who's left Man United in that midfield area. You've got Mata, who's the other guy, and Matic. They both left, so Man United probably need to strengthen in that area. Yeah. I think he's a really good sign on a free, and I don't think he won't play ahead of Fernandes, but I think if you're looking to play them 2 deeper ones in, like I say, a 4-2-3-1, and you're looking to build up play, pass through the thirds, you can't be rolling balls into McTominay and Fred, fucking coming off his shins every 3 seconds. So at least passing it into Ericsson, he can handle the football and he can build up play, and he can take it in tight areas and keep the ball. He's a big improvement for me on the 2 sitting midfielders that they've already got. Big time. You can't tell me he's not better than Fred and McTominay.
If you look at the way Ajax played,
if I was Manchester United, if I was playing for Man United and I was Fred and McTominay, listen, I'll be absolutely raging. You've got a player who, near enough, thank God he didn't, died on the pitch. Now, he's coming to your club and potentially you might not be playing.
Mate, Fred and McTominay have been dying on the pitch every week. Every week.
I'll be looking at myself thinking, Jesus, am I that bad? Because it's a risk. I don't care if doctors have said, yeah, everything's fine, insurance has passed, whatever. What's happened to him has happened. What is to say that can't reoccur again?
Yeah, I hear that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is worrying. It is.
I'm telling you.
There's a reason that Italy clubs won't sanction him.
This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah? If I'm them players who's in there, in that position there, I'm just thinking to myself, is it even worth this? Like, come on, you can't rate us.
This is the thing. With Ten Hag, you boys have seen Ajax in the Champions League over the last few seasons.
It's like boxing.
You there, Woodhouse?
I'm there.
Sorry, mate. I lost you there for a sec. The way Ten Hag plays, it's a certain system. He is not going to have McTominay and Fred losing possession and balls pinging off of their shins. He's not going to have it. Like, everything breaks down from there. The way his system plays, he's going to have someone on a half turn, turning, finding the striker. Ericsson, like Woodhouse mentions, he can play anywhere across the free. He can play in the hole. He's a good signing for Man United. He really is.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, the big elephant in the room is his illness, isn't it? Because it was when that happened, it was a real scary moment, wasn't it? I remember watching it live, and it was like, oh shit! I think everyone thought he died on the pitch, and that was it. And it's like, wow.
Well,
And
he did.
Well, yeah, he did. Yeah. If it weren't for the defib, they wouldn't have been able to bring him back. Which is, it's scary, isn't it?
But nevertheless, a real quality top player. Possession, assists, he gets the play going. Listen, whoever's playing up front, they're gonna have a whale of a time because he can ping a 3
It reminds me of a little Luka Modric. He's that technical master where I imagine him in training, the 8v8s, it'd be a joke. You could put Eriksen in Man City's team, no problems, would not look out of place. I think he's a top signing. I really do. Like you said, he's a massive improvement on what Man United have already got.
Now, we've seen the Frankie de Jong saga going on and on and on. I don't know about you boys, but I'm really pissed off of it. It's been going on for so long. It reminds me of Man United's pursuit of Wesley Sneijder. It's like, just sign the contract or move on. How can you target a player for like 2 months and not have it over the line? I just don't get it. What are you boys' thoughts on the De Jong transfer? Ship sailed? Think it'll happen? Where do we stand?
I've said all this before, and there's something not right. A deal can get done within 10 days. Clubs agree fees, wages, agent fees, whatever, this, that, and the other, bam, done. It's something in whether he don't want to go, because the squad, the team, he don't know what direction they're going in. Man United ain't paying him enough money. Something in between's going on because it doesn't take 2-3 months to sign a deal. I mean, it doesn't.
I think if you're a player of his level, like an elite midfielder who, would have a choice of many, many clubs, he probably wants some assurances on what's happening with Ronaldo, and if he is going, who's coming in to replace him? Because you look at that, well, they haven't got anyone. They haven't got a number 9 at the football club if Ronaldo leaves. Ronaldo's gone, Cavani's gone. Who else is going to be in there? You got Martial, who Man United been trying to sell for the last year. No one wanted him. So he probably wants assurances of what's happening. If I do come, who am I passing the ball to? Answer me some questions. And if it's going to be the current forwards that they've got, then I'll stay at Barcelona, who've just signed Lewandowski, by the way. So all of a sudden Barca are making moves. Barca are looking like they could be a decent side. So why would you leave Barcelona to go to Manchester United?
You wouldn't, would you?
No.
That's the thing. Without the confirmation who's playing up front, looks like it's going to be ice cold Martial, to be honest. From what I'm hearing, looks like he's going to get the nod.
Only by default, though, isn't it? It's only by default. He's kind of like, who we got left? Oh, okay, you're playing.
Do you remember during the restriction and during COVID, he was absolutely flying and banging them in without the pressure of the crowd. It was like exhibition training games for ice cold. He was having it. What's gone wrong for Martial? Why can't he transcend that on the big games in front of the crowds, 90?
Consistency, innit? You know what I mean? Something might happen behind the scenes or whatever, but a few of the Man United players all of a sudden just didn't look happy. Rashford, Lingard, Sancho, Martial, they all of a sudden they looked off, not bothered, body language where it was just everything was off. You could see it, So I don't know what happened.
Something happened, didn't it? Something happened there that probably none of us know about, but that club seemed to fall apart over the space of about 6 weeks, where it went pretty toxic and everyone seemed to down tools. Martial, one of them, he never looks happy anyway, but he looks even more upset.
Pointed that out. He never, ever looks happy. I've never seen one picture of him smiling. He smiles less than 90. Honestly, I've never seen him happy, ever. I mean, ever. So I don't
Yeah.
think we can draw much from Martial
know.
not smiling.
I don't know, 100+ grand a week. I'll tell you that.
Mm.
You know what, as well, if we're going to be honest, Man United want to get back to winning the Premier League. That's all Man United are ever interested in. They're a huge club. They're not one of them that should be thinking, top four. It's brilliant for us. Man United have got to be challenging and winning the Premier League. If you have Martial as your number 9, Man United will never, ever win the Premier League with Martial as your number 9. So, for me, he's not the answer. You need to go and get, you look, for example, Barcelona have gone and got Lewandowski. Man United need to be shopping in that market.
Man City have gone and got Haaland.
Curtis,
Yeah.
Liverpool have gone and got Nunes. Arsenal
Curtis,
have gone and got Gabriel Jesus.
Curtis,
Ice Cold's back.
you're Man United's manager, Curtis, and Lewandowski's flying about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get him.
Do you get?
Yeah. All day long. You at least be in the conversation, because he is a game changer for Man United because he gets goals and he makes them players around him even better. Fernandes running off him. You've got Sancho, you've got Rash. I would even sacrifice getting a midfielder in and getting that main centre forward.
We wait to see what happens with Ronaldo, I guess. That's the conundrum.
Yeah.
He holds on that block.
Well, the manager said that he don't want him to go.
I can well believe it. Who scores the goals without him? Has he got the budget to replace him?
But he seems
Yeah.
like a pretty, strong-minded and knows what he wants. Is he going to take, Ronaldo wanting the ball from flipping left back, right back, centre back, midfield, left wing, right wing? Is he going to take that? Like sometimes
in goals, I don't reckon he'll care. Get him through that first season. Let Ronaldo carry the team, get the goals out. You can ease Ronaldo, phase him out next year. At the moment, he's key. He hasn't got Ronaldo first season. He can't hit the ground running. It's going to be hard.
I agree. Ronaldo's key to that team. He has to be in the team. But Ronaldo's bigger than Manchester United. Seems crazy saying that. Ronaldo's bigger than that football club. And if you keep him, but he don't want to be there, then you're probably making a terrible decision because he's a huge personality. And if his body language last season sometimes was not great, throwing his hands around this, that, and the other. I didn't agree with any of that. You don't want an unhappy Ronaldo in your team or at your club. It's not like he's just a regular player. The camera's going to be on him all the time. Just create that bad vibe. I think
he needs to be happy consistently every single day without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah, and he's only happy if two things are happening. The team's winning and he's scoring goals. And not in that order. Him scoring goals is probably the most important part.
The thing is, can Ronaldo's PR, R7, everything that goes along with Ronaldo being this immortal great, the legacy, can his brand handle a bad season? Just say, for instance, he's sulked, didn't put in the attitude that he's put in his whole career, the role model type-esque behaviour. How damaging would that be for brand Ronaldo? I'm saying he needs to perform for Ronaldo to be Ronaldo.
And the World Cup coming up as well.
This is what I mean.
I don't think Man United can destroy Ronaldo.
He's bigger than them.
Like Curtis said, he's bigger than them.
Interesting. We'll see.
With certain personalities on the world scene now that are too big to be cancelled, you can't cancel.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo's in that bracket. He's above anything. He's completed it, mate.
It's like Neymar as well at PSG. They said they wanted him out and blah blah blah. You can't. Them sort of players, Messi, Neymar, Lewandowski, Ronaldo, all these elite players, you can't cancel them. You can't do anything to put a dagger in their image or media work, whatever. It's impossible.
Okay. Now we've seen Arsenal have raided Premier League champions Manchester City for the second time, bringing in left back Zinchenko. Good signing, bad signing. What are your thoughts on it initially before we break it all down? What do you reckon, Knight?
This is 90s patch, isn't it, Arsenal?
Well, you know, I don't mind us getting players from Man City because to be Man City, you've got to be a good player. Yeah, let's get that first and foremost. Like, you know, probably their whole squad are good players. You couldn't find really a bad player in their squad. Do you get what I'm saying?
You think Man City's second 11 getting the top 4?
Yeah.
Probably does, isn't it?
100%.
They probably finish first and fourth.
It's what I'm trying to say. So, you know, when people are saying, oh, well, Jesus might not be, you know, why are they letting him go? Obviously, he ain't all that. But they're bringing in Haaland.
And they've got that young Argentinian as well that we brought in, haven't they?
Yeah.
Who's meant to be like the real deal.
Right. So this is what I'm trying to say. You know, sometimes even if you're a good player, there's better players.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to then move on. So all of this talk about, you know, they're buying, you see it online all the time. Oh, now they bought what's his name? Zinchenko, whatever his name is, right? Wherever you pronounce it, right? He still played for Man City.
Is it a worry, Nighty, that?
No.
Is it more a level of where Arsenal are at, the fact that they're more than happy to sign marquee players?
Well, listen.
Or players that a potential Premier League rival are happy to let go to Arsenal. Not the fact Arsenal are signing them, they're good players. But the fact Man City don't see it as a threat to let the number 9 go, to let the number 3 go, and they're not worried.
Because they've probably got 2 squads who can compete. Now it's just picking and choosing who wants to go.
And Arsenal are not a threat to Man City.
Right. And let's be realistic about it.
Okay.
We didn't get into the Champions League, so obviously we're not a threat to them.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Are they not worried about a potential threat that you're building? The fact that they just take you can have these players.
Well, we're still not going to be to that level next season. So the next season after that, we're still not going to be.
Yeah, and after that, listen, I don't think Arsenal, here's a shout, right? I don't think Arsenal will win the Premier League again in my lifetime.
Now, you see if you didn't do boxing, me and you could have scuffed.
I'm being serious because if you look at it, so you got Man United. Man United are coming back. You know, they've got ridiculous amounts of money. You got Man City. That money's going nowhere. Liverpool again are a huge club. You've got the emergence of Newcastle. You know, Chelsea. I don't ever see Arsenal being in a position ever again to win the league in my lifetime. I honestly don't.
So how old are you now? 42. So say you live to 82. So you're saying another 40 years. Nah, you're trolling. I know you.
I swear, how are they going to win the league? Explain to me how at some point they're going to overtake Man City, Liverpool. Don't forget Newcastle. 10 years' time, Newcastle are right in the mix. How are Arsenal going to bridge that gap?
Well, you know, someone can buy the club.
Youth policy. Going to bring through youngsters. That's the way we're going to do it, isn't it?
I don't want to hear Saka's name. I don't want to hear Martinelli's name. All these players, yeah, right? Crap. Man are going to say, oh, Saka. How can you say Saka's crap? I don't rate him. Simple.
Now, I've been on the Saka train since day one. Honestly, I think Saka is a good player. I think Arsenal, West Ham, Everton, that's where Saka is your 35 game a season man. Will chip in here and there. But listen, nobody that wants to try and win the league is going to sign Saka.
Mate, I would have done this, yeah, if I was Arteta. They've boosted up the hype of Saka already.
Yeah.
I would have sold him.
Yeah. But who's going to buy him though, Knight? Someone who might buy him is someone like a Newcastle, an emerging super force where you could get top dollar for him.
Right. So they've gassed up the situation. You get like a Newcastle to buy him.
Yeah.
And then you see Raheem Sterling floating around. Yeah. You try and suffer
into Arsenal.
I know, but I'm just saying. Working with Arteta beforehand, you at least try. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You Arsenal fans are deluded. Sterling ain't got, if Arsenal rings Sterling's phone, right? He's ditching that contract and getting a new phone the next day. Don't ever ring this phone again, ever.
I'm telling you now.
Arsenal are gone, mate.
I'm telling you now, right? I would have done this. I would have sold Martinelli, sold Saka, and tried to bring in Leroy Sane and Raheem Sterling. And then you got Jesus up front, and then that is your front three.
You're playing Championship Manager, mate.
Bro, but they're available.
Yeah, not for Arsenal.
But what I'm trying to say is these players have played with Pep and Arteta before.
Exactly. So they probably ain't going to go back and play with Arteta.
But Jesus did.
Yeah, true. But where else could he have gone?
Well, he could have went other places. 100%.
Who's taking him?
I don't know. Bayern would have probably took him.
No, he would have got a team. He would have
got a team. He'd have probably he'll have got a Newcastle or like I think Jesus is in and around where he should be. I think he'll be a good player for Arsenal. I think he would be. But if you're going to win the league, like we go back to Man United with Martial, if you're going to win the league, you do not have Gabriel Jesus as your number 9. He's not good enough.
Curtis, I understand what you're saying, but I'm in a position to saying we're challenging for the league. You can ask Arteta now. He ain't going to.
I agree. And when are they ever going to be in that position?
Well, it builds up in stages. You've got to now be getting in the Champions League consistently for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
To bring in them players to say, okay, we're in the Champions League. You know, all the top players want to play in the Champions League. Yeah. So that's what you need to do. That's where it starts there. Then from there, you start getting in the players or whatever. Then you try and say, top 2, top 3, top 2, top 3, maybe. Do you understand what I'm saying? But for the next 5 years, from next season, we've got to start saying we've got to get in the Champions League. Within them 5 years, we've got to get in there at least 3 times.
Well, you know what? I just don't see that happening. So that means that over the next 5 years, you want to be in there 3 times. So over the next 5 years, you've got to finish above Man United,
Tottenham.
You didn't finish above Tottenham while Conte's there. Look at their signing.
Chelsea.
I forgot about Tottenham. So you got Man U, Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham,
Chelsea.
But this is what I'm trying to say.
West Ham. West Ham are better than you.
Forget West Ham. No chance.
And you've got the emergence of Newcastle. That's 7 teams. They're all going to be above Arsenal in 5 years' time.
Well,
but they've made good progress in the window. He's got rid of the dead weight.
Yeah.
When Arteta came into the squad, Arsenal was like a new house with 3 different sets of furniture picked by different people.
I hear that. He's done a tough job.
He's got an identity. He's got a team. He's got a spine. He's got his own goalie. The team's starting to take shape. So I think this is the real season to judge Arteta.
I don't like Martinelli. I don't like Martinelli isn't Brazilian.
Yeah, no, I think they're both catfish, both of them.
I don't care what anybody says. Martinelli is not Brazilian. He's from Paraguay or somewhere. He has to be. He's from Peru. He's somewhere around them ends there. Mexico. Yeah. He's not Brazilian.
You know, Arsenal should be in for Jesse Lingard.
We'll come on to Lingdini.
I'm taking Lingard and I'm shutting Martinelli or Saka. One of them.
Yeah, all day long.
He's been linked with Nottingham Forest. quite surprisingly. 150k a week. Can you see City, Nottingham Forest, City Ground paying that?
No chance. You got to solidify your position in the league before you start flipping trying to dish out 150 grand a week contracts. You know, you can get to this season and you can be a Norwich and just get relegated. Now you got 100 grand a week. You got to keep paying out in the Championship.
Are you surprised Lingardinho didn't join West Ham after his success on loan?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse seems to be all about the Benjamins, doesn't he? You know, he's got 150 and he ain't going anywhere for a penny less.
I don't blame him, mate.
Trust me.
If he can get the money, then fair enough.
I don't blame him.
He come from the 90 score of contracts, mate.
Yeah, is he 30 now? He's probably looking at the exit plan.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. When there ain't them contracts coming in anymore, no one comes in and knocks on your door and goes, "Hey, here's 100 grand."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Once
this
it's
is
done,
a big contract, isn't it?
yeah. Once it's done, mate. So why not flipping? He's got a young daughter there. Do you know what I mean? He's got to look after. He looks after his mum who weren't well. I don't know if she's any better now, but you know, he was really looking after his mum at one point and stuff.
I just want to put this out there. Let's not feel sorry for Lingard. He's not skint by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? He's been at Man United for like forever.
No chance.
He's not.
But you know what? You know what though? Like you said, he's been at Man United forever. He's won major tournaments. He's a multi-capped England international. He's been to major tournaments. He's in his head. He's worth that money, and he's saying this is what I'm worth. And he showed last season that he's still got it. You know, went to West Ham and ripped it up. So, respect to Jesse. I think he's a really, really good player. And I think at the right club, what is 150 grand these days? You know, what's he on at Man United who's sat there doing nothing? Yeah. All them players that have just been let go by them, you know, they're on 150s. The goalkeeper's on 300 grand a week at Man United.
When you work like that.
Yeah. 150 for Jesse Lingard if he's playing every week, playing well, doing the business. I think it's a bargain for West Ham. And you get him on a free. You don't have to pay a transfer fee. I think it's a good move for somebody.
Signing on fee, 400 million.
Why are Arsenal not in for him? Why are Arsenal not in for Jesse Lingard?
They must think that Saka or Martinelli's better.
Oh, they probably don't want another massive wage thing on them.
Get rid of Nelly.
Till you get Pepe off. Let's face it, Nicolas Pepe, club record signing, been the worst bit of business in Arsenal's probably history.
Crazy.
Absolute flop merchant.
But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you get rid of him, you can. What's he going to be on? 150s?
Got to be.
One.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Right. So you get rid of him. That's your money for Jesse Lingard right there.
Everyone wants him by the looks of it, even at a reduced price. We haven't had any interest.
Now, even if you get on loan and you get some of his wages back on loan, you know, so a team comes in and pays half his wages, you put that towards Jesse's wages. Because Jesse Lingard, I think you put him in that front three, he's your best player.
Thing is, I think it comes down to pride, where he is the record signing, like Pepe. Sort of anything, isn't he? Sort of thinking, oh my God.
Yeah, you don't want to swallow it.
He's on loan to Seville for no money coming back in.
Sometimes
does it?
Best for the rest of the club. You've got that pride, mate. You know, you're trying to chop down and build your own, you know, structure and stuff. Do you know what I mean? You've got to swallow that. You've got to just take that one in the head and say, you know what, that was the worst bit of flipping.
Yeah, we got it wrong. The big managers make the big calls. You know, Arteta's not stupid. He knows Pepe ain't good enough. Yeah. You know, forget all that pride. Get rid of him.
Let's look at Chelsea. They finally got Koulibaly in. I remember Chelsea chasing him under Mourinho. Seems like an eternity ago. Big signing. He's coming in to replace Antonio Rudiger, who literally was a rock at the back for Chelsea last year. Big signing.
I like Rudiger. Big fan.
Like Rudiger, like Uncle Rudiger a lot. Koulibaly, 31 years old, coming in from Napoli. See the man? What do you reckon, 90? Don't look impressed.
Nah, stinking. You'll see. Why
do you like him?
Well, bruv, didn't you see him? Have you seen him against like the English clubs that flipping Napoli and stuff? Spin him all over the gaff. Every damn way. He's all over the gaff. All over the gaff, mate. I'll be very surprised if you know he does well this season coming. I'll be very, very surprised. I mean, why not just pay Rudiger what he wants?
The embargo, isn't it? They couldn't write the checks. They lost Rudiger because of politics behind football, I guess. The stuff of Abramovich and the war, Ukraine, oil, money. Stuff got frozen. Rudiger couldn't get re-signed.
Rudiger's one of them people to play on the left-hand side of a back three. They're like rocking our shit. And he was very good. He brought the ball out really well. He was comfortable on that left-hand side. He's a problem to replace, he is. I haven't seen much of Koulibaly, to be honest, but his name's been popping up forever. He's been linked to much all the big boys. No one seems to have ever taken him. Yeah, so he has got big boots to fill. For me, Rudiger was probably one of the best defenders in Europe last year. Yeah, be interesting because that position in that back three is very, very difficult to recruit for, and they had the perfect person for it. They've lost him. Yeah, he's under pressure. That could have by whatever his name is to come in and perform.
That's the thing.
And
they lost Hutchinson as well. So again, he's going to be potentially. Sorry to interrupt you, Nighty. He's going to be potentially playing alongside another new centre back.
Yeah, when you talk about Martinez going to Man United, it'd have probably been a better signing for Chelsea's back three. Left-footed, gives you that balance. Played there before. He'd probably be a better signing for Chelsea than what Koulibaly is. Because I do like a left footer on the left of a back three.
What's your take on it, Nighty?
Take
on Koulibaly, do you think he'll be the man?
No. Played in Italy. Do you know what I mean? Who won the league last season? AC? Not happening.
AC with Tomori at the back, who Chelsea let go.
Interesting. Tomori, well, he's learned language out there. He's adapted to the culture. What a player.
Giroud up front, who Chelsea let go, no?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't seen much of Tomori, to be honest. I haven't seen much of him.
Abramovich, who's 47 years old.
Yeah. I've not seen a lot of Tomori, but I watched him there for England a few weeks back and he had a shocker. He really did have a poor game. I know you can't judge anyone off one game, but he's young, isn't he? You know, that's the problem Chelsea have had when they had all them young players. They probably let too many of them go too early.
You know?
You've got to pick carefully, mate, because the leagues that some of these are playing in are shocking, mate. Honestly, you got to pick from the teams if you can grab them who's won the league, basically, because these teams, these leagues now, the Italian league is absolutely piss poor.
Yeah, it's like Abraham's, isn't it? Abraham's over there is looking like a Pete Didier Drogba.
This is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to say. You've got to pick and choose wisely, mate, because don't let it fool you that. Do you know what I mean? It's poor out there.
Now,
yeah.
I'll save this one to the end because I think it's been one of the best signings of the transfer window so far. Raheem Sterling to Chelsea. Absolute levels of disrespect that gets thrown around Raheem's name. Probably England's most consistent player at the World Cup. Knuckles down, gets his head down. Weren't in the team last season. You didn't hear him publicly moaning. Worked hard and grafted, tried to get back in the squad. He's in the peak of his powers, in the prime of his powers. He's 27 years of age. What do you think of Chelsea's acquisition of Raheem Sterling?
I think it's a great piece of business, mate. There's not much to say. Like, you just look at what he's done. He's been at the biggest clubs in the Premier League, performed on the world stage, internationally, Champions League. The only thing he's probably ain't completed is Champions League. Unbelievable. And, the media, it's the media again, bruv. Do you know what I mean? The media again. They don't respect him. They don't want his name to be touted around and this, that, and the other. It just seems like a little, a player coming up from the Championship who's really been doing well, like that kind of hype that it's had, which is a disrespect because it
Why
should.
do you think that is? Why do you think like no one? He's never really been embraced anywhere, has he? You know, when he was at Liverpool, they liked him, but he left and they boo him now. He went to Man City. He's never really been respected. No, there's never been like much fanfare for Sterling. And when you look at his numbers, they're ridiculous, really. You're like, wow. And I didn't even realize until you said then, James, he's only 27. He's probably got his best 3 or 4 years still to come. But for some reason, he's never been embraced, has he? Why do you think that is?
Remember during the World Cup? Do you remember during the World Cup when after the game, he had an outstanding game? The game eluded me. It will come to me in a moment. And the reporter asked him, do you feel justified in your selection now of being in the team? And he looked at him. I looked at the lady as if to say, are you absolutely insane?
Yeah.
The players know I'm the best player in this team. The manager knows I'm the best player in this team. I'm the best player in training. And you've got the audacity to ask me, is Gareth, by my performance, is Gareth justified in selecting me? Where is this hatred and this lack of credibility and credence attached to Raheem Sterling? Where does it come from?
Let me tell you why.
Go on.
It's racist. I don't care what anyone says, it's racist. Let any other man of any other colour do and have his numbers and they'll be going crazy. Look at Jack Grealish. He ain't done half of what flipping Raheem Sterling's done. Half. Nothing of the sort. Would
Grealish,
never do.
Yeah, Grealish is nowhere near Sterling's numbers. You know, and I must admit, Sterling's been a slow burner for me as well. He's always kind of somebody who I've never really... I always thought, like, there's more in there. And then sometimes you just have to sit back and look at what he's doing and his numbers and think, you know, I think I got it wrong about this geezer. Sterling's a proper... I'm talking about early on in his career. Now, like, I've been sold on Sterling for times. Sterling's a ridiculous player. And he's out... But he is easily overlooked because sometimes when I put my, like, best England team together, I think, oh, shit, I've not even got Sterling in there. He has to play, doesn't he?
But
I think he's never really courted the media either, has he? He's never been one of them that just says shit for the sake of saying it so everybody will love him. And that's what I like about Sterling. He stands on his own and he stands on his ability. He don't play that media game. And because he doesn't play that game, they're not having him.
Yeah, it's to do with the media. Yeah. He's known to be connected to his Jamaican roots where he was born. I think that don't sit well with the media either. He's not really, you know, pushing and England, even though he does play for England and whatever. And I know he likes playing for England. You can see he enjoys his game, whatever, this, that, and the other. But it's them sort of things that don't connect him with the media and they don't push him to be a top player. Because you name me another English, who plays internationally for England, who's better than him? Kane? Yeah. Okay.
It's the same vibe that John Barnes had with the media. You know, John Barnes was born in Jamaica, you know, and had deep connections to his Jamaican roots. And Raheem Sterling's the same. Obviously, we've got a lot of black players in the team, but I think they were all actually born in England, where Sterling was born in Jamaica and has got a closer link to his roots in Jamaica. And it seems, you know, that the English press don't really forgive him for that.
Should
it's racist
not be embraced though? The differences, the multiculturalism, the history of your family, like where you are. Raheem's obviously classified as English, he plays for England, but shouldn't you celebrate that diversity?
Listen, as much as this is a little powder puff era and time that we're in and whatever, behind the scenes it's the same. Never, ever, ever, ever change. Yeah? And not in my lifetime anyway. Yeah? I'm 39 and not in my lifetime is it going to change. It's always the same. What they're pushing onto the screen, Black Lives Matter, this, that, and the other, kick it out. Look how long kick it out's been going. It's been going on when I was a flipping youngster. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's changed. It's just fronts to say, oh, this is and blah, blah, blah. But nothing's changed, mate. Nothing. And it will never change. It's always the same. The media will always find ways to pick things out of people or make people look a certain way. When he had the AK-47 gun on his leg, the media didn't even look into to say why has he got that? He got that because
story.
His dad got killed by an AK-47. So he had, regardless of what anybody thinks about it, he wanted to have that on his leg. Yeah. But it's not because he's a gunman or he thinks he's a rude boy, as they put Jamaican Yardie or whatever it is, or this, that, and the other. It was for something. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the media they don't tell you that. Do you understand?
I think Raheem a few times has pulled the media up as well. A few times, about how they reported him when he bought his mum the house that time. Raheem Sterling splashing the cash and all stuff like that. And then he put that report, didn't he, next to, I think, was it Phil Foden?
Yeah.
Who bought mum a house as well, and compared the two articles of how they wrote about Phil Foden and how they wrote about Raheem Sterling. He's pulled them up a few times on it. So he's put their noses out of joint, and I don't think they like it. And they say the power of the pen, it's very powerful, and they've tried to poison his name for a lot of years. And unfortunately for them, his numbers are killing them because you can't hide behind the fact that he is, our second best player by a long stretch.
And let me tell you something. The media would have ruined him in the Euros. Take that ball away, and Italy broke. Oh, was it Italy? No. Who was we playing?
Germany.
No, Germany, sorry.
Germany.
Muller missed, didn't he?
And if Muller would have scored that would have been...
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Even tell by his reaction. He knew if that ball went in the net after him giving it away, that would have been him done. Finished.
It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame that the country have never got behind Raheem Sterling. But on the flip side of that, I can't think of a black footballer that the country is, an English black footballer that the country has ever got behind.
Oh.
Ever. It would never be like Gazamania for a black player.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Raheem Sterling's done 10 times more than Paul Gascoigne's ever done for his country.
Exactly. But because Gaza liked to booze and he was a funny man, he came out into training with wigs and mock players and this, that, and the other, which is all fun and games. Don't get me wrong, I love Gaza. Don't get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? I don't really pull the race card, but when it's there to be called, it's blatant to see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you would like her, and you will never get a black player that's getting that peak highlight. Alan Shearer, like, boom, black. Do you know what I mean? Wayne Rooney, like,
I'm trying to rack my brain and think of a player who got that adulation for playing for England.
You ain't got
probably come. It's probably Rio Ferdinand, I guess. Again, his level of ability and talent dictated that he got that respect.
Yeah, but Rio was never a superstar, was he? Like a media darling or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. I can't ever. I don't think they'll never be. Say that again.
We're talking media, like him on the paper, like bam, yeah. This is like the Gazas and who else was there? Flipping Beckhams and Gerrard,
Rooney, Owen. Yeah.
Mike, fucking remember Michael Owen? Jesus.
Yeah. Tony Adams.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling should be proud of his roots, should be proud of what he's done and what he's achieved.
At Raheem into this. Raheem, please don't stop doing what you're doing and carrying yourself how you're carrying yourself. Don't bow down. I know you're not going to, but don't bow down to anybody. Do you know what I mean? The way you conduct yourself, everything, you're a family man and this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? You look like you got your stuff together. No one sees you out raving, partying, smoking, drinking, all of that. No one sees you doing that. Do you know what I mean? So just keep going on. Get like you've been at Liverpool, Man City. Where is you QPR? You went from QPR to Liverpool, Liverpool to City, City to Chelsea. You've made it, bro. Don't make these men that make you feel any sort of way whatsoever, bro.
That's right.
Yeah.
40 million, 30 million, 50 million. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Proud of
Raheem
the group.
Sterling's actually a shining light of how it should be done.
Do you know that's what I'm
How
trying to
it should. He's called out the media when he should call them out, you know, and in sometimes not everything's judged now. People will look back in a few years' time and think, wow, look what he actually did there. He stood up when he needed to stand up.
Yeah.
I hear that. All right, boys. It's been a great pleasure spending a bit of time with you, as always, as we discuss the latest transfers in the Premier League. We'll be back this week for a special episode of Not For The News. If you're watching this on the app, please download the YouTube. If you're watching us via the YouTube channel, please log in and download our app at Pitch Football. It's completely free. Ticket giveaways, shows, competitions, you name it, the content's there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time today. Look forward to seeing you during the week. And yeah, keep it Pitch Football. Thank you very much.